How you guys doing? It's Tom. I'm going to do a quick review of a new bike that I picked up a couple months back. It's a XB9 City Cross. It's not the first Buell that I bought. The other one I have is the 12R, and the 12R is more of a sport bike. It's 1203. This one's 984. Come in, you can look at it. It's nice. It's belt drive. There's no lubrication or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about chain. The unsprung weight's very low. Because there's no chain adjustment, you've got a tensioner right here, and there's no chain adjustment. Your rear axle is always in the same spot, so your steering geometry is very stable on this. It's got a perimeter brake rotor, allows you to run one 6-piston caliper and stop the wheel better because you're grabbing it from the outside of the rim. And when you do that, it's less torsional load on your spokes, so you can have little skinny aluminum spokes without having them twist. This front end setup here is lighter than most magnesium wheel setups, and it's an aluminum, so that's good. The City Cross, if you look, came with clear body parts. This one's in Hero Blue. Comes with a black X on top that allows you to put a tank back there and have something to stick against. This one has a few little modifications. I've bypassed the breather boxes. These are some pegs that the previous owner had on there. I don't really like them. They're broken. I got to go back to stock on this. Got rid of the stock mirrors. Got bar ends. And this is a select seat. It's not a stock seat. It was a special edition seat that's a little better than the stock. I think it's got this V-notch. And it's also converted out to LEDs. Now, another thing, that the bike's weight probably right now is around, without any fuel in it, probably about 385 maybe. So it's nice and light. It's in the same class as an SV650. Some guys are going, wait, hold on, that's 984 cc's. How can you compare the two? Well, you're dealing with an air-cooled pushrod operated motor with only 2 valves in it, 2 valves per cylinder. Compression is lower, revs are lower than a SV650. So all your racing rules say this is basically in the same class, which I believe it is. Right now, new, they were very expensive for the displacement and for the performance figures. I think they ran, book value was around 10 grand. But the retail went down after they were making them for a little while, and now you can get them used for anywhere between $2,500, $3,500. So same price as a used SV650. And given a choice between a used SV650 and a XB9 City Cross, I'd take this any day. Why? Because of the suspension. The stock SV doesn't come with a suspension this nice. You'd have to steal it off a GSXR 600 or something like that. And then you'd have a whole bunch of money wrapped up in it to get it to come close to this. Makes a lot more torque than a SV650. Horsepower is up. Top speed, probably pretty similar, but I think the rideability on this is a lot better than an SV. In fact, I actually like the handling and the riding posture on this better than my 12R, because the handlebars are high and wide, and because of the seat and the way it places you, you kind of ride high on this thing, and you can get a lot of leverage in it. It flicks real well, real easy. You can get down on it. It's one of those kind of motorcycles. It's a very Street Fighter type motorcycle. It was originally designed for what they called urban assault. It's kind of like a cross between a super standard and a super motard. It has some motocross accents to it. You know, you got motocross handlebars. I don't have my little caps yet. I got to get little caps from where my old mirrors used to be. Now there are rumors that you know, you hear guys back in the past talking shit about Buell and their reliability. So far, every Buell I've owned from the XB line is extremely reliable. Most of the reliability issues were with the old ones, the old tube frame ones. But these are rock solid, and the replacement parts are very cheap. Every sensor on that wiring harness is a Ford Mustang sensor. You can get them at AutoZone, 18 bucks a piece. including the O2 sensor in the headers. The fuel pump is Ford Mustang, so you really can't go wrong with them. Now they're in hot weather, they kind of sputter, spit, protest a little bit. You might lose a horse or two, but it doesn't really matter. You just blast through it. Not a super refined motor, but that's one of its strengths. One of its strengths is that it's a simple, basic, caveman, primitive motor that doesn't really give you any problems. And if something does break, they're very easy to work on and inexpensive to work on, especially if you turn your own wrench. You want to avoid taking it to a Harley mechanic though sometimes, because the specs on that motor are different than a Sportster motor, and sometimes they torque things wrong or they don't check proper clearances, especially with things like stators. The new Harley stator doesn't go in there doesn't go in there perfectly all the time. You'd have to check the clearance on it, and if there's clearance issues, you got to drill out a rivet. But that's a long story. But other than that, these are for the money. Now on the used market, there's a lot of bang for your buck. I'd stack it up against an SV650 any day. I'd take it over an SV. And for down low, between 0 and 100. Between a 0 and 100 on the street, this thing with the right rider can pretty much hang with anything. You got a lot of torque. I had to do it over again. I'd like the 1203 in this style. 1203 street fighter like this give you a little bit of extra oomph. It's a lot more torque. 84 foot-pounds of torque on the 1203. That's about what a Hayabusa makes. They're fun. They tear up tires. I don't really have the tire I'm looking for. These are Road 2s. I'm going to try to get some Pirelli Diablos on there. Probably the Rosser courses, either that or a Pilot Power 3. I changed that exhaust. That's not a stock exhaust. That's a Jardine aluminum. Saved some pounds there. Maybe I saved 15 pounds. I'm not sure. I didn't weigh it. But if you guys are looking for a good street fighter as a platform, reliable, strong, robust, inexpensive to work on, great handling. The handling's fantastic. I'd put it up with a Ducati Monster any day. But if you're looking for something like that for relatively short money, get that Buell City Cross or the S model. Well, that's all I got to say about it. Signing out, guys.